I've been studying insects and more recently birds for the past 30 years, I suppose. And the idea is to see how these creatures with tiny brains perform so well at seeing the world and navigating in it. And if we learn some clever tricks that they use as animals, we try to copy that into airplanes. Well, my career path it was not directly aimed at anything. It was a series of accidents, and I think that's kind of important if you're a scientist, not to rely on a career path or a particular aim, but just it turns out when I was in school, one of my colleagues got me excited in building radios, electronic transistor radios. So I got into electronics that way. Got interested in engineering. When I was studying engineering, one of my professors said, "Hey, rather than doing classical engineering, why don't you try and model a biological system like a human visual system when the eyes are tracking a moving target? Could be fun." Sounded like fun, so I got into that. When I went overseas to do my PhD at Yale, again I was looking for something in the interface between biology and engineering, and it turned out the only person there was working on bug eyes, insect eyes. Sounded interesting, so I got into it. So it wasn't a predefined career path, it was a series of accidents, or happy accidents I should say. Well, when I was young, I didn't see myself as someone having a great opportunity to change the world. I feel I have those opportunities that are there finally here, maybe now, not to change the world, but at least try a little bit to affect change in terms of science policy, science funding policy, with my recent appointment as a council member of the Australian Academy of Science. So the Australian Academy of Science seems to have three priority areas. One of them is to inspire and really excite young students in schools to get enthusiastic about science, because we are finding that the interest for science is dropping. So that's one thing that they're really trying to do very hard. The other thing is to make sure that the country provides a career path for young scientists. People get into the science, they get enthusiastic, they do their PhDs, they do their postdocs, but then what? The career path needs to be established, and many of them are leaving the country now. They're leaving in droves, and we have to try and make sure that there's enough opportunities here in Australia that we don't lose this talent. That's the other priority. And the third priority is to establish gender balance. We're finding very few women scientists in the higher positions, and we have to do something to redress that. So those are the three priorities. So I think the Council's role is very important, especially to make sure that the future of science in Australia remains robust. There are two ways to do it. One is to try and talk to the politicians themselves, firsthand, one-on-one, and sort of impress upon them the importance of science and its continuation in Australia. That's one thing. The other thing is to actually inform the public about what we're doing, get them excited, and get them to actually respond to the public at large, and as well as pressure the politicians into doing what everyone would like. So I think those are the two ways in which we can reach out. I certainly feel a sense of responsibility. I've had thank goodness, I think I've had a fairly good run in my career as a scientist, and it's about time I tried to give back. So certainly I'd like to try and do whatever I can. I don't know what I can do. I'll just have to try now to see in what extent I actually help with the future of science in Australia. Certainly, yeah.